Nick Khan does not care about the IWC as he went on Stephanie McMahon's podcast today. What's your story? I want to listen to this, and I probably will end up listening to this at some point. Did not. I was stuck or not. Take a reverse here. I listened to Cora Jade, and I usually wrap up CVV this week, but I was stuck yesterday with work stuff, so I didn't get to listen to full Shotzi. So we're a little behind. I want to check this out because Nick Khan is a brilliant mind. The clips that I have seen so far, he's inspiring. You know, it's someone that I would want to work for with that mentality. And I love the comment he made about the IWC. And I have the quote here. It's not as long as Hangman's promo. He said, "We always encourage our writers, don't program for that," referring to the IWC. "Program for the universe, not for the small portion of the universe who wants to criticize you," which is the IWC. And I love that mindset because that's what you're planning. You're planning your show. You know your fan base, you know your audience. You're planning and writing for them, which I appreciate.
I have a rebuttal though.
What?
And the only reason I have a rebuttal is because I thought it was interesting that somebody said he can say this and that makes sense, right? But at the same time, you cannot say that the IWC does not have an impact on what they do, because the IWC is part of why they pivoted for WrestleMania 40. The IWC is a part of the reason why they pivoted with R-Truth. So to act like, oh, we're not booking for the IWC, you are, because a lot of them also go to shows, and a lot of the way that people feel about certain things is because of what is being said on the internet, because everything is so available. Information is so available to people right now. So like, I get that, there's a lot of troll accounts who literally only watch that they only watch wrestling to hate on it. But there are also people who go on the internet and talk about it, and they do watch the programs every single week, and they do go to the shows when they can. So I think that's like, I get what he's saying, but you also can't act like you completely ignore the IWC all the time, because you don't. There's there are not. Do you think the Yes movement was started just in the arena?
No, but that's the thing that is different. What I think is different is that the IWC and WWE fans, like, sometimes they're the same person, and it's only a small select few, that
Well,
are.
that's what I'm saying. Like, some of them are
Moments like
trolls.
Yeah, exactly. And the moments that you're referring to are things that have left the internet. We want Truth Chants. We want Cody, that are taking over the broadcast. That's different. And that's when they do pivot. And that's when, like, all right, this is our universe.
I just mean, like, I'm saying, like, all that stuff originates online. That's what I'm saying. So it's like, to act like the IWC has no impact on how you do things, that's wrong, because Truth was fired or released, whatever, between shows. It wasn't like it happened during SmackDown and then all of a sudden people were like, we want Truth, we want Truth. No, it started on the internet, and people were getting pissed off about it. And those are people who then went to Raw and started saying, we want Truth. So that's what I mean. It's like, it's the same thing. Like, people cheered when The Rock took the match away from Cody. And then once it settled and people realized what was happening, they then went to Raw and were saying, like, fuck The Rock and whatever. So again, it's like, the internet does have a say in how people react. It doesn't always align, obviously, with how people are perceiving a show in person. We know that, because, like, people reacted fondly of Goldberg showing up on this past Raw, but the internet is like, what the fuck is this? So it's like, it's not the same. But when it comes to other things, it's like, it's happening in between shows. So I don't know. Like I said, I understand what he's saying, but you also cannot completely negate the internet, because so many people have access to the internet. It's not like everybody that goes to shows doesn't have a social media account, or doesn't talk about wrestling online, or doesn't participate in the conversation, whether it's good or bad. It's just like, you see it especially with WrestleMania. WrestleMania is like the hub of the IWC. It is. It just is because it's a different crowd because it's from people all over the world. Why do you
Everywhere.
think Dominic Mysterio was getting favored in the IWC, or I'm sorry, in the IC title match when Braun Breaker was in there? Penta was in there. Like,
Mhm.
those are people who should be getting cheered for over Dominic
Yeah.
Mysterio. But Dominic ran back into the ring to celebrate with the crowd.
He's like,
Again,
"Yeah!"
that's an IWC influence. That because look at Dom now. The crowd is back to booing him. So I think he's got to I get what he's saying, but we can't act like, oh, the IWC has no influence. They do. It's like
Mhm.
it's when it translates to the crowd which proves it,
Yeah. Yeah. Agreed.
Um
What
oh,
you were reading?
I was reading comments. Yeah, he said that Nick Khan said when he said that they don't bench people. I still bring that up, but people try to say that it was the context that matters because he was saying that they don't bring people in, like they don't hire people to bench them. And
Mhm.
we also know that's not true because Hikuleo was hired months ago and he just
He
debuted on Main Event.
just debuted. He
Chelsea
just
Green was
debuted.
signed and didn't debut for months. Like
It was the Royal Rumble.
there are people who that's not true. But even if we want to say taking it out of that context, it's still true. You had Bailey on the shelf for months for no reason. It was storyline. She wasn't injured. Right now, you have Ludwig Kaiser for no reason. You could even go back Giovanni Vinci. My guy Giovanni Vinci was for no reason. It's
Poor
like
Giovanni Vinci, man.
oh my god, when I watched, like I said, Clash of the Castle and him and Ludwig introduced Gunther,
Mhm.
I was like, my heart aches right now.